with Joda Home Inspections. We're doing a sewer scope here in Salt Lake. Today's March 6th, 2025, and we're at 351 North Wall Street. We have the camera pushed out 94 feet. It looks like the line's making a turn where it drops into the city line. I'm not able to get my camera to go around that. Oh, I take that back. We were dropping into the city line. Now that the water's not running so fast, I can see that a lot better. So that is the city line on the screen. And this first connection point is called the nose on, which is where it goes from your lateral line into the main city line. Looks like a good connection there. Looks like cast iron. Already I'm starting to see a lot of rust. Looks pretty rough. Fair amount of buildup. From what I can tell so far. The issue with cast iron is it gets real rough and rusty. Eventually it will need to be replaced. I'm going to flush the toilet to clear my camera head off. Right off the bat, I'm going to recommend that you get the insurance on this line. You can get insurance through HomeServe, and that would help replace the line or clean the line if needed if you had a blockage. Alright, that should help clear the camera head off so that we can see things a little bit more clearly. So far I'm not seeing any standing water that would indicate that you have improper grade. So a fair amount of buildup on this line. I'm torn between two different types of pipe, either cast iron or gravel cement. If you look at the bottom, it looks more similar to gravel cement, where you can see kind of the exposed aggregate, all the rocks. But then on the top and on the edge, or the side rather, it looks real rusty, which is a lot more common with cast iron. In either case, they're both rough and can allow waste to get stuck, which can create a blockage, which can lead to a backup. As we're pulling back, all those little white spots, that's toilet paper that's gotten stuck. Little pieces, mind you, but if enough gets stuck in one area, it can create a blockage. Looks like this line's going out the back of the house. A little bit of buildup through there. I would recommend having this line cleaned. They could put coat it, which is where they clean it with a chain, like a carbide chain, and that makes it a lot smoother. Cleans off all of that buildup and scale, and that would help prevent blockages. I'm no longer running water. We've had a lot of rain the last couple days, and with older lines like this, sometimes you'll have groundwater that enters into the city line, or into the sewer line rather, through the joints. If that's what's happening, we should be able to see that. Little bit of standing water here. When you have standing water like that, that indicates that it's a little bit flat. When a line has a belly or is flat, waste can settle right there, or grease, and it can create a real sticky spot where bigger pieces of waste could get stuck and lead to a backup. interesting. I'm looking at that kind of upper and right hand side of the pipe. I'm not positive, but what that looks like is a Fernco fitting that is collapsing in on the line. So a Fernco is a rubber boot or a rubber sleeve, and a lot of times they'll use that to connect two sections of pipe. And if the pipe separates, the Fernco can start to collapse or get pushed into the pipe. And if that were to break through, soil could collapse into the line. So not a good thing to be seeing. Now we're transitioning to ABS, which is a plastic line. I had to scope this for a secondary drain, and so typically I'll go through a bigger access point. That helps push it out a little easier without needing to run water. I would recommend having an access point added. You have plenty of space down in the basement, and then also you don't have to remove a P-trap to be able to access the line. And I think here, if you were to have this line cleaned, you wouldn't be able to do that through the kitchen drain. You would need to access somewhere else. They could pull a toilet, but it would make a lot more sense to just add a P-trap. I would recommend having this line cleaned. You did have a lot of buildup. It was a fairly rough line, and there was enough buildup on it that I'm still not positive whether that was cast iron or gravel cement. Looked rusty like cast, but it was kind of rough like gravel cement. After having it cleaned, I would still recommend getting the insurance on the line since it is older, and that would help offset the cost if there's a bigger issue or when it needs to be replaced. I'm going to end this recording now.